Yeah, well, I got disconnected family too, and I'm not a Scientologist. They threatened my family so badly. And my family in Ottawa, my brother and my sister. And this is on the net. This is on the net. They threatened my family so badly to do a variety of things to their church and their employers and everything like that. My brother went and got legal advice, very bad legal advice. Because if they talked to me at that time, they would have found out that, I mean, the Scientology was a criminally convicted corporation. They were a vexatious litigant in Canada, and that they were vulnerable to charges, criminal harassment charges. My brother never talked to me about this. He got this legal advice, and I called him one day, and my phone was blocked. And my sister fell in step with him. At my father's funeral, they wouldn't even talk to me. I had a heart attack, almost killed me. At the same funeral, Scientologists showed up at the end of the funeral and tried to get in. Yeah, I spotted them. I didn't realize I was having a heart attack. I was very ill, and I was still there, and I spotted Scientologists coming in. And my mother saw them. She got started. She says to me, "That woman's here again." The same woman who apologized in the Golden Mail for having upset my parents when Al Butner, the OSA from here, went up to Ottawa and tried to handle me through my parents up there, and really upset my parents. So they tried to bust into the funeral there, and they got told to leave. And I ended up finding out that I had suffered a heart attack. So I was disconnected for years. My sisters just started talking to me again. She may stop with this because they'll go after her. But I will not give up my free speech. My father died. When my father died, he told me, "Don't stop fighting."
Right.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll make a brief statement about Scientology. I am not just protesting Scientology because they have beliefs which are nonsensical, because, you know, one can find many religions that have nonsensical beliefs, and I think that people should have the right to believe nonsense if that's what they want to do. But Scientology is a predatory religion. It is designed to consume people's lives, to take people's money. It treats its staff members as slaves. It conducts dirty tricks campaigns that even Richard Nixon would have been ashamed of. And it's a horrible, destructive organization, and it should be stopped. It is really a criminal organization that presents itself as a religion. And that is why I am protesting. And, you know, unfortunately for myself, I was foolish enough many years ago to be a Scientologist. And I would like other people to learn something from my mistake.
No.
So that's why I'm here. Yes, well, I devoted 7 years of my life to Scientology, and I was promised many things. I was promised superhuman abilities, all kinds of things. It's you know, an endless list of accomplishments, and I worked very hard for these accomplishments, and I spent a great deal of money, and I didn't accomplish anything. And after 7 years, I eventually had enough honesty to say, you know, it's not working, and this is an organization that has abused me, that has lied to me, that has robbed me of time and money, and it's not okay. It's not okay for them to promise what they don't deliver, to operate on false pretenses, and to deceive the people as they do. The difficulty is an internal difficulty. People become brainwashed. The only difficulty anyone ever has in leaving Scientology is overcoming their own delusions. Well, I spent about $15,000, which is relatively low. I know many people who spent hundreds of thousands. But I was involved in the 1970s, in the early 70s, in fact, and prices were lower then. Scientology has gotten a lot more expensive since the time I left. But nonetheless, I spent about $15,000, which I regret. I could have used that money for much better purposes.
Like a car.
Like a car, exactly, yes. Actually, my family was involved. It was my cousin Michael who first got me involved. And later I got other members of my family involved, and you know, it does tend to work like that. And at this point in time, all of my relatives are now also out of Scientology, including the cousin who first got me into it. And he was a very famous Scientologist, by the way, Michael Silverman. And he was a Scientologist for more than 2 decades, but even he eventually got out, as most people eventually do. Well, I became a Scientologist when I was 18 years old. I was a very naive teenager. And in those days, right there, that was before the internet. We were a lot more naive then than you are today as teenagers. Which specifically states that people who criticize Scientology should be lied to, robbed, deceived or destroyed, yes. And, you know, I am a known suppressive person, so the cult would like to destroy me if they can. Well, I'm a pretty low-level suppressive person as it goes. I haven't been subjected to the kind of harassment that Greg Hagland, for example, has. But I have received harassing phone calls from them for many years. At the present time, I now have switched to an unlisted phone number.
Same within your whole family too?
You know, they wanted to... I was asked by Andy Hill where I worked because he wanted to send a letter to my employer saying that I'm a religious bigot. Of course, he's not aware of the fact that the person I work for could not possibly care less what the Church of Scientology has to say about me. But this is the kind of thing they do. They try to embarrass people with their family, with their employers, in any way they can. They spread lies about people. They make harassing phone calls, and you know, then they file harassing lawsuits.
So
I haven't gotten to that level where I get the harassing lawsuits because my activities are not that significant.
Yeah.
Well, we're all keeping low. We don't have a high profile.
Yeah. Okay.
We're not movers and shakers in the anti-cult field. I'm willing to speak.
Were you a Scientologist at this time?
I was. I worked for the Church of Scientology of Toronto, but not at this location, because in the early 70s we were located on Avenue Road. They moved to this building after I had already left Toronto. No, I don't fear not wearing a mask. As I say, they already know who I am. There's nothing more for them to find out. It's not as they're not going to find out that I'm an enemy of theirs. They know that. They've known that for a long time, at least a decade. Just as Greg Hagland, they know who he is. They're already filing harassing lawsuits against him. There would be no point for him to come here wearing a mask. The fact that I'm an enemy of Scientology is something that is known by the cult, and therefore I have nothing to hide from them. But it is a wise precaution to wear masks. They are dangerous people, and you should take precautions when you deal with them. And even though you know that they're dangerous people, they're more dangerous people than you realize.
Like your sign says.
As my sign says, they are worse than you think. Even though you know that they are a predatory cult, it takes a long time to find out exactly how destructive they really are. They're a very sneaky organization. They have many different operations going on at many different levels under many different names. And they're capable of anything. And I would like to see them treated as the criminal organization that they are, rather than being given respect as a religion.
All right. Thank you.